What is up, guys? My name is Nash and welcome back to another video. And today I'm going to be going over the things that I wish I knew before I majored in finance. And I feel like if I had known some of these things, I would have known what to expect. I would have, probably done it a lot better. But, if you're watching this video, I would think that you're trying to make the decision and these things might help you make that decision. All right. So the first thing that I wish I knew before I majored in finance is going to be there's so many different parts of finance. So my goal in finance was to learn about investing. The first couple of classes that I took, they had nothing to do with investing. I had to take corporate finance classes, where you basically learn about how a company operates when it comes to finance, just on the finance part of the company, right? So, and then after you take those classes, you take, classes like money and banking. Just like the name, you learn about how money and banking works. And then you go into investments where you actually learn how to invest. And while I was taking these classes, I thought it was a waste of time. But if you really think about it, if you're going to learn about investing, usually when people talk about investing in companies, they're talking about, stocks, right? So, in order to buy a stock, you have to understand what the company is, what the product is. And usually do this by, learning corporate finance. So that's why they make you take all these classes. So I was not expecting that. I just expected to go learn about investing. There's different stages that you have to learn until you get to what you want to learn, right? So if you expect to just learn about, corporate finance, you should expect to also learn about investing because everything is connected in finance. So whenever they make you learn all these things, and it's only after you finish, all those classes that you have to take, and you're going to learn that everything is connected. And there was a reason why you had to learn everything. So that's one thing that I didn't expect at all. All right. And the next thing is going to be, there's a lot of formulas in finance. And I was expecting that, but I also expected that I had to memorize all these formulas. I had to know how to do them by hand, all that stuff. But what I didn't expect was a financial calculator. If you're learning how to calculate the present value or the future value, stuff like that, or the net present value, the financial calculator will do it for you. You don't have to memorize any formulas because it's built into the calculator. And other than using the financial calculator, you can use Microsoft Excel, which is a lot better. And I think it's used more than 60% of the time. And this leads me into the next thing that I wish I knew, which is you have to know how to use Microsoft Excel. You have to. They're going to teach you, but I feel like if you know this beforehand, you can kind of learn it on your own free time. And by the time you have to use it, you're going to have the upper hand because you kind of have knowledge from your past. So Microsoft Excel is really big in finance. And we use that to calculate a lot of things. You use that to build, a lot of models. If you're maybe, putting together an income statement, you probably put it on Microsoft Excel. Because you want to be able to have those formulas that do the math for you, so you don't have to write down the formulas and manually do the math. But if you had Microsoft Excel, it does everything for you. You just gotta know how to use it. There's so many formulas in Microsoft Excel that will make everything a lot easier. All right, and the next thing is gonna be you have to know accounting, right? So I know most schools will make you take accounting as well, or they kind of give you a brief introduction to accounting. So you don't have to be really advanced in accounting. You just gotta know the basics, like income statements. So you don't really have to know how to create it. You just have to understand how it works, or the balance sheet or, stuff like that. So you just have to know how to use it. And the way I like to look at it is accounting and finance, they go together, right? So accounting is based on the past. It's based on the information that already happened. And finance tries to predict the future using that information, right? So let's say you're looking into a company that you wanted to invest in. So one of the things you might want to do is go ahead and look at the income statement, which is based on the past information. So that's when finance comes into play. You can create, projections. Now that's finance. That's where you get to use those Microsoft Excel models. So they're going to help you create those projections based on past data. If you go on YouTube, you can find a lot of accounting, tutorials that will teach you how to do all that stuff. And the last thing I wish I knew, it's not very specific, but it's just that, finance is very realistic when it comes to, anything you're learning really. If you go to corporate finance, let's say you're learning that if a company does this happens or stuff like that, you can actually go on Yahoo Finance and look up, let's say you can look up Amazon's income statement. Or you might be learning about investment and you learn that these things affect the stock price. You can look that up online and you can see that in real life, And so yeah, so finance, it's based on things that are actually happening. So that's what makes it a lot easier to understand. You can look at what's happening around you and you're able to apply that to your life. So I feel like that's the easiest way to learn. If you can apply something that's being taught to you to your life, I feel like that's going to really help you understand the concept a lot better than, than something that you can only imagine. So yeah, so that's one thing I didn't know. All right, so those were the things that I wish I knew before I actually majored in finance. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. And if you want to add something to this, leave it down in the comment section below. But thank you so much for watching, guys. Make sure you go ahead and hit the subscribe button below if you haven't already. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.